Okay, I'm just going to say one more thing about the bystander effect, and then I'm going to drop it for now because, yeah, I have seen way too many murders in the past couple weeks, as I'm sure lots of other people have, and I would rather just not think about it or talk about it. But this is things that I feel like are important to speak about, especially when they are very present in our world and in certain times. And so I'm just going to share like my piece of it. It's got a random text. Just to like help people be aware if maybe you're not aware. I'm not saying that people are stupid. I know some people are very aware, but others I just don't really think about this kind of stuff sometimes. So I'm just going to tell like a couple stories of just how real this phenomenon is, and it's not for like to make myself sound any type of way. I just feel like people don't realize it until they've actually experienced it. And I've even had people be like, well, like I would never do that, or why would people just stand there and not doing anything, or why would people just walk away, and there's no way that actually happens, etc., etc. And I have been in two specific situations where that was a very real thing, and I too was floored by human behavior, and it was very unfortunate and sad, but that doesn't mean you have to be that person. And so the first story I'm going to tell is when I was working at a different gym, and this guy was doing like these cable ab things where it's like you have the cable behind you and you're going down really fast and you have like the weights attached to it too. And so anyway, like halfway through his set, the cable snapped and his head went like super hard into the floor. And I was actually walking the track at the time, so I was like up above just kind of looking down, and I saw it. And so obviously he hit his head really hard, and there were like 4 guys around him, 2 girls just standing there. And when he hit it, he literally laid there for like a minute or two, and I saw these 4 guys and 2 girls just like look at him and walk away, like just not do anything. And honestly, it took me like a few seconds to like realize what was happening, and I was the one. Okay, anyway, I'm going to try not to cry over these stories because they make me so angry and so sad all at the same time. But anyway, just a long story short, I was the one who ended up going down there and helping him. I literally had to call EMS because he was like unconscious for a while and like all these things. And I just think about like, I don't know, like obviously I hope he would have been okay, but it was just wild to me how someone could witness that and just walk away. Okay, yeah, anyway, just watching the 4 guys around him, the 2 girls standing there that literally stared straight at him and did nothing, was not my favorite moment in life. And thankfully, after calling EMS, he was fine. But I think that was my first realization of how, a lot of people just like stand there. People don't want to make things their problem. Some people just don't care. And like, I'm personally never going to be that person. And I hope that even just like sharing these stories or making people aware would help even like one person actually step up and help someone in need if they were ever in a situation like that. And so that's the first story. But the second one also happened, I think it was probably like 10 years ago now, but it was really random. I was just driving around one day, and this little boy, like he was probably literally like 4 years old, was just like walking the streets by himself. And I don't know, I like noticed it and I saw him, and then I just kind of like watched him for a little bit because I was like, are his parents around? Like, is he walking to someone? Like, I was super confused. And so I watched like all these people walk straight past him, all these cars drive by him, and like no one do anything, when very clearly, like in my gut at least, I was like, something is not right. Like, this is a little boy. I feel like it's just kind of a vulnerable position. And even where I live, sometimes people will argue, they're like, well, it's a super safe city and nothing happens. Like, no. I have had firsthand experience that is not the case. And like, it doesn't matter where you live. You could live in the middle of nowhere, and like, there are still creepy people, bad people, especially a small child who's in a very vulnerable state because they're so small. So anyway, that was another one where I just watched people walk right past him, literally right past him. Cars drive by him. No one did anything. And finally, I just like pulled over and I went up to him and just asked him, I was like, hey, like, are you with your parents? And he just instantly broke down and started crying. He said he was lost and he was really scared and he didn't know where he was going. He was trying to find his home, like all these things. And I just think about that too. I'm like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to know someone like personally, like have a daughter or a son, or like for me, a niece or nephew, or just any loved one at that age to like have a freaking heart, like just care. Like you can, it doesn't take a genius to realize that something is wrong with the situation and to like help, like do something. So long story short, I was able to get him home safely, and I just will never forget. Like, anyway, I'm really trying to get through the stories without crying, but it does not help that I'm super hormonal too, so yay being a girl. But anyway, I will never forget when I dropped him off and his mom was standing at the curb just like bawling, like thinking that she had lost her son. And like, you know, again, I hope he would have been okay, but I think about like if someone, like if I hadn't actually done something, like I don't know, she might have, like he could have been kidnapped, he could have just like gotten lost somewhere, like stuff like that happens and it's terrible. And so again, the whole point of sharing these stories is just to like, not like educate, I feel like that's the wrong word, but just inform people. If you're the person that's like, that would never happen, or like people don't do that, like yeah, a lot of people don't do anything. Like again, I think people are, number one, a little bit oblivious, a little bit self-centered. People are selfish. People think about themselves and like think about more than yourself sometimes, like number one. But number two, people just don't want to make things like that their problem. And like, are you serious? Like that's a whole nother human that could have a really terrible thing happen to them if like someone doesn't help, and you could be that person. So yeah, this is all stemmed from the girl on the subway, IRYNA, and just, you know, lots of things that have happened recently in this world. But all it would have taken is one person to step in and help her, call EMS, like help her from stopping bleeding, just like anything, and no one did that. So anyway, long story short is just simply be a good person. Don't be selfish. Think of more people than yourself. If you see something that seems strange, it probably is. We have intuition for a reason. And make it your problem. Like, I just can't imagine walking away from any situation that I see that's very clearly not okay. So yeah, I don't know about you, but helping someone else very clearly in need is definitely worth putting my life on hold for a few minutes, a few hours. Like, that's just another human soul. Your life can wait. And so yeah, I hope this encourages someone or just makes someone aware to like just be mindful, like be aware of your surroundings. Number one, for your safety, but number two, for other people, like just help people, please.